Assalamu alaikum and very good evening. My name is Dr. Javed Iqbal. Welcome to my new lecture on Hadoop ecosystem. This is part 3 of my lecture series on Introduction to Apache Hadoop. If you have not watched my earlier videos on Apache Hadoop, you may watch those videos on my YouTube channel. My first video on Hadoop was Introduction to Apache Hadoop. That is part 1 of my lecture series, and the second lecture is on the architecture of Apache Hadoop. In the introduction to Apache Hadoop session, I introduce you how Apache Hadoop was developed. Hadoop was basically developed by Cutting in 2005 at Yahoo. Later on, in 2006, the Hadoop was handed over to Apache Foundation. Apache Hadoop is a popular framework for processing of big data. Apache Hadoop is popular due to its plenty of benefits. Then in part 2, I have presented you the architecture of Apache Hadoop. There were two versions of Apache Hadoop, version 1.0 and 2.0. Hadoop 1.0 has some limitations. Those limitations were removed in Apache version 2.0. This lecture is on Hadoop ecosystem. First, we will see what is Hadoop ecosystem. Hadoop ecosystem is a platform, a suite which provides various services to solve the big data problems. It includes various components that support each stage of big data processing. Four major components are modules of Hadoop, that is HDFS, MapReduce, Yarn, and Hadoop Common. Apart from HDFS, Yarn, and MapReduce, the entire Apache Hadoop platform is now commonly considered to consist of a number of related projects as well. Apache Pig, Apache Hive, HBase, Spark, MLab, etc. This slide shows you the different components of Hadoop ecosystem. I will show you the brief detail of each of the component of Hadoop ecosystem. The first component is the HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System. HDFS deals with the storage of data. So while we run Hadoop, first we have to configure HDFS. The second component is the yarn. Yarn is yet another source negotiator. Yarn is responsible for the task of resource management. The next component is the MapReduce. The responsibility of the MapReduce is to do the data processing. These three components, IDFS, Yarn, and MapReduce, were taken from the version 2 of the Hadoop. Apart from these, there are other components that are the part of the Hadoop ecosystem. The next is the Mahout and Spark MLab. Mahout and Spark MLab do the task related to machine learning. So whenever we have to do the task of supervised or unsupervised, we have to use either Mahout or the Spark MLab. The next component is HBase. HBase is a NoSQL database. Since the type of database used in Hadoop is NoSQL, so HBase is used as a NoSQL database. The next component is the Spark. Spark is in-memory data flow engine. Next component is Hive and Drill. Analytical SQL on Hadoop. As you know that whenever we have to write any MapReduce task or job, in Hadoop we have to write that code in Java. So instead of writing Java, we can convert those MapReduce tasks into simple SQLite queries. So Hive is used to convert our MapReduce tasks into simple SQLite queries. So whenever we do not want to write Java codes, we can use Hive. In Hive, we write simple SQL-like queries. Those SQL-like queries are then converted by Hadoop into MapReduce jobs. Those Hive and Drill SQL queries can be used for analytics. The next component is Pig. Pig is a high-level scripting language. We can write Pig Latin code for interacting with the Hadoop. For real-time stream processing, Kafka and Storm is used. If our data is real-time streaming data, we can use Kafka and Storm. The next component is Zookeeper and Imbari. Zookeeper and Ambari is responsible for management and coordination. So all the system related configurations is managed by the Zookeeper and Ambari. Next is the Uzi. Uzi is responsible for workflow and scheduling of jobs. The next component is Solar and Lucene. Solar and Lucene is responsible for searching and indexing. Next, if we look into the bottom of HDFS, we have Flume. Flume is used for unstructured or semi-structured data. It can be used to import such type of data in HDFS. So if our data is not in structured form, we can use Flume to pass that data to the HDFS. Next is the Apache Scoop. Apache Scoop is used for structured data. The data can be in file or database. It can be used to import and export structured data in Hadoop. In this slide, I have shown you different components or modules of Hadoop ecosystem. All these components is now managed by Apache Foundation. The purpose of Hadoop ecosystem is to show what are the components that can be used. These components of Hadoop ecosystem facilitate the tasks of Hadoop. So when we will apply Hadoop for the task of big data analytics, we can use any of these components for specific task. There are some other components that are not included here. I have included only those components which I will discuss in during my next sessions. Thank you very much for watching this video.